Hi, my name is Laura Driskell, and today I'm going to talk to you about diverse communication. Diverse communication happens within the workplace, within your everyday life, and it's important to know some things and some tips and tricks that can help you easing the discomfort or the awkwardness, and just so you get a feel of what it's like to give a presentation to a diverse audience. You're going to need to know how to ease to all different kinds of cultures, age groups, levels of education, and here's a couple things that could help you for your next presentation. The description of this presentation is about the effects of using good communications with a diverse audience. There's going to be many cultures, levels of communication, age and gender can also affect these things. There are many do's and don'ts when it comes to communicating to a diverse group, and that's because you can step on people's toes, and that's what I hope that you don't do for your next presentation or group study or anything like that. There are many different people, so that means they're going to have many different beliefs, and what they value is going to be different. So just take this in mind as you listen throughout the presentation. There are many different ways to go about leading an audience who are on different education levels, genders, ages, and different cultures. It's important to remember these things when speaking because it will reduce the chance of stepping on any toes in a negative way. I will share some tips and tricks and strategies to ease your comfort in further presentations. Alright, the purpose of this presentation is to help you accommodate and react correctly whenever you're talking to a diverse group. The purpose of this presentation is to help others when public speaking, especially to a diverse group, especially in the workplace. The workplace is one of the major things that, one of the major places that can be avoided whenever stepping on toes. Always wanting to further those careers. Diverse communication can be challenging because obviously there's a diverse group of people. People don't think the same and don't react the same. Sometimes miscommunications or misinterpretations can happen, and that can either ruin some friendships or ruin your employee relationships, anything like that, especially when it comes to your boss too. Diversity is also a good thing because the more diverse a group is, especially in the workplace, the more diverse the ideas and the different strategies to come up with a plan, things like that, and the more diverse the group is, the more diverse the opportunities can be and different things like that. Diversity, there's so many definitions to this, and it can be looked up in many different websites and books and things like that, but one that stuck out to me would be it consists of many different factors. The factors include, as I stated, age, gender, levels of education, personality, social status, sexual orientation, or even different cultures. I want to talk to you about diversity in the workplace. This is important because diverse communication in the workplace, there's many different people in the organization, so you want to be able to fit to all of them. There's a couple of things that are recommended for diversity in the workplace, and those include 5 different things. Ward off change resistance with inclusion, foster an attitude of openness in your organization, promote diversity in leadership position, utilize diversity training, and launch a customizable employee satisfaction survey. These include the ward off change resistance with inclusion. This includes every employee possible in formulating and executing diversity initiatives. That means that everybody's opinion, you don't want to hear some of them, but they are all important. Foster an attitude with openness. Okay, well that means you want to encourage your employees to be able to speak and give, their ideas and things, and it can obviously help the future of the company. You want to promote diversity in leadership positions because this is what you see. This is the visibility of it. Whenever a leader is, asking for a diversity of ideas, then you want to promote a diverse communication between each of you. Utilize diversity training. It's a tool to help shape your diversity policy. Each company needs to have a policy about being diverse and the importance of it. Launch a customizable employee satisfaction survey. This just is the results to build and implement successful diversity in the workplace in the future. There is importance to diversity in the workplace, and this is 4 factors: work teams, external leadership, and challenges. This means that diversity in the type of communication or communications within a group of organization is very important. There are 4 steps that you can come to know when talking about the importance. Work teams can increase and expand results. The more ideas that are being brought in, the more opportunities to execute those ideas. There is importance placed on communication outside of a company because you're going to have business partners that you're going to have to deal with, and they might be a completely different culture, but you want their business. You want to know how to communicate to that level of diversity as well. When an organization has a community on their side, then more than likely more is to get done. Leadership plays a major part in communicating to a diverse, because when there is a leader, there is structure. And that comes back to the policy. Every company needs a diversity policy. You want to promote it and you want to enhance it. There's going to be challenges, of course, just like anything else in life. And the challenges that are faced, it's going to be in everyday life. Like I said, say you're meeting a whole different group and you're being acquainted with a whole different group of people. They come from different areas, different cities. They think differently than you. They're different ages, different levels of education. All these can be obstacles, but it can be avoided, and it can ease your time whenever you know how to speak to a diverse population. As I shared at the beginning of the presentation, there are many do's and don'ts for diverse communication. A few do's consist of: observe how others communicate, behave professionally, talk to others as equals, make the most of FaceTime. There's nothing better than FaceTime. Texting, miscommunication. Phone calls, okay, well, your tone sounded weird. No, make do of your FaceTime. Treat those around you as individuals. Don't just lump them in a group. Diversity, you are an individual. And also find common ground. Whenever you have something in common that you can talk about, then, you're step in. A few don'ts that are mentioned include: don't be afraid to ask. You might not know something in that culture or that realm of things. Don't stop improving your communication skills. Don't make assumptions. You know what they say about whenever you assume. Don't be afraid to be conventional. Don't talk to people in a patronizing fashion. People don't like to be talked to like they're dumb. Don't single out a culturally different person. It's said that treat others around you as individuals. Okay, well, that's not pointing out that they're different. That's just talking to them face to face, and I want to get to know you and your culture, but I'm not making fun of that culture or that age group or that gender. The do's and don'ts of diverse communication vary in many ways, but they all come back to a few fundamentals. There are also ways to improve diverse communication. There's ways to improve on pretty much anything in life, right? I took some key points from an article from cron.com. The article was titled "How to Use Good Communication and Skills for Cross-Cultural Diversity." Cross-cultural is like meshing 2 or more diverse groups into one. There are many ways to improve diverse communication. The steps that were included in this article include: Step 1, slow down whenever you speak. Step 2, speak clearly and concisely. Step 3, keep it simple. A lot of people don't know puns or jokes or things like that. Step 4 is maintain respect and courtesy for people who come from different cultures. Step 5 is smile and be open. Step 6 is avoid slang. A lot of people don't get, like Texas, well, this isn't really slang, but ain't, avoid it. Step 7 is shun humor. Some people might not get your jokes. That's okay, but, avoid it. Step 8 is adopt a formal communication approach until you develop a rapport with your group. Step 9, stay away from using negative questions and answers. Step 10 is ask for feedback. Everybody wants to be able to talk, so ask for it. It makes people feel good. And step 11, summarize what you've been sharing and summarize what you've been, the knowledge you've been giving people and receiving. That goes a long way as well. Another reference that is shared is tips for effective cross-cultural communication. These include to be honest, be flexible, listen actively, respect differences, ask questions, build self-awareness, avoid stereotyping. As I had mentioned, don't lump them in a group. Distinguish perspectives, think twice, always think twice before you speak, and recognize the complexity. Next, with the variety of people in a diverse audience, there will be a variety of communication styles that could be taken for each of these. The styles include the direct style, which is high assertiveness and low expressiveness. 2, the spirited style. This is high assertiveness and high expressiveness. The systematic style, which is low assertiveness and low expressiveness. And the considerate style, which is low assertiveness and high expressiveness. To further this, so people know what I'm talking about, the direct style is characterized by a decisive tone with an emphasis on the bottom line. You get straight to the problem. The spirited style has an animated style and is very persuasive. The systematic style is characterized by a precise speaking style with an emphasis on facts, not so much opinions. The considerate style features people who listen well and use supportive language, meaning you're very expressive. There are benefits from almost any improvement that can be taken place. A few benefits of effective communication include whenever there's effective communication, it helps with diversity, obviously, global business, diverse communication, team building, and employee morale. Communication involves both verbal and nonverbal skills that go to each of the communication styles mentioned before. Communication is important in the workplace because there will be differences that will need to be handled, decisions to be made, and the overall building of an organization stems from communication. Without communication, not a lot gets done. There are many different benefits from using effective communication because it helps with diversity. Diverse communication has been the sole topic for this discussion, but it is important to read and study up on. Global business thrive these days because of the many ways people can be reached through the internet. You can talk to someone half across the world. And using communication or having a translator, that can go a long way because it can help your business. Team building is also another benefit that can come from the correct communication because without communicating effectively, there would be no team building. There actually wouldn't be a team at all. Team building is needed in successful organization because when there are more ideas rolling through, the more opportunities there are to improve the whole company as a whole. Lastly, employee morale. Pay seems to be on everyone's mind, but when communication is correct in the business world, there will be more important factors on an employee's mind. Sure, we all love money, but there are more important things to a job. Without good communication, there will be frustration, more than enough arguments, and lower tasks will be completed. Communication is very important in your everyday life, especially diverse communication. We could probably fight it, but why would you fight it? Take it on and, invite people and want to get to know people in a diversity of people. Cultures are an amazing thing. We can fight it, we can hide it, but the fact is that many organizations are now becoming more diverse. And whenever you know how to communicate effectively to a diverse audience or a group of people, or whenever you have to make a presentation either in your work or for a class, for example, the few tips and tricks and strategies that I looked up and I found to be very helpful to me, because speaking isn't my strong suit anyways, and speaking to a diverse group is even more of a challenge. So whenever you can take these practices into consideration, maybe your success will be that much more. So I hope you enjoyed this and work on your diverse communication because the world is changing and the world is becoming more diverse as we speak. So have a good one. Have a good day.